The 10th is a long, uphill par 5 that peaks at its distinctive neck, then turns right. The tee shot is pretty wide and forgives anything that drifts in either direction, and the natural slope of the fairway funnels balls towards the center anyway. The tee shot isn't designed to test you. The real strategy begins on the second shot. The player can opt to shave 50 to 100 yards for their approach by cutting the corner right. However, the traditional path leaves the player with 140 to 170 yards out from the green by laying up near the neck. The green is shaped like a protruding hourglass that peaks at its belly. The effect this creates is an uphill putt if the hole happens to be between your ball and the center of the green. The 11th is a short par 4 and it's all downhill from here. The temptation off the tee is to cut the corner left with a draw just over the edge of the bunkers. The resulting approach is a short pitch to an elevated and isolated green. The pitch, however, is downhill, making it difficult to get any serious spin on the ball, getting it to stop where it needs to. Consider this: playing back to the right and with less than driver. The result from here is a flat lie with only a short iron or still potentially a wedge in your hand, and with a full swing. For many, this may be the easier path to scoring, or at least the better way to avoid a disastrous number. The 12th doubles back from the 11th and is a mid-length par 4. 3 trees frame this tee shot's fairway, and if you can thread this needle, you will likely find the short grass. It's the widest fairway on the course. From the fairway, it's a mid-iron to a slightly elevated green that's guarded by 1 bunker short left, but that's far from the most concerning hazard around this green. A score of slaloms short right naturally collect any shot that comes up short or right on this false front here. And if you happen to find yourself down in these pits, you may need to pull off a flop shot. 13 wraps up the trilogy of challenging par 4s with another semi-blind tee shot. The fairway is far more forgiving than it appears, and it's pretty difficult to miss. The goal is to be on the right side, as the resulting approach has no danger short for a mishit. The left side of the fairway is still only going to be a short iron into the green, so far from a knee buckler. However, the penalties are far more severe for coming up short, and the angle of attack to the green is towards its narrowest direction, which only adds to the difficulty of the shot. 14 is a beautiful transition hole and designed to give the player a reprieve after a gauntlet of stressful shots. The short par 3 doesn't require much, possibly only a wedge, and doesn't throw too many obstacles in the player's direction once you're on the green. In fact, if you do happen to find the putting surface, 2 putts from there is typically expected. One fun quirk here: the drop zone is directly behind the green, meaning if you find the hazard from the tee, it's placed directly in your line of sight for your chip back to the green. Don't blade it here. The par 5 15th is a great blend of challenge without being overly penal. While visually intimidating, the tee shot doesn't present quite as much challenge as it might appear. Once you find your way to the middle of the fairway, you're presented with 2 options. You can either go for it in 2 and take on the Himalayas on the right, which, if you end up in, create uneven lies for a tricky tight pitch. Alternatively, one can lay up on the plateau that's just left short of the green for an unobstructed pitch to the long side of the green. The 16th is a long-ish par 3 that's all carry. A prominent feature of this green complex is the huge false front that repels any shot that comes up short, as an artificial mound provides players with a natural backboard. Many ambitious golfers will assume the 17th is a drivable par 4, but that is just simply not the case. A greenside bunker defends from any shot that happens to carry the massive waste bunker left or the Sahara bunker that runs the length of the fairway. The play here is to lay up with a long iron down the right side of the fairway. From here, it's an easy pitch to the green to the longest section of it with very little danger in the way. The Palmer course comes to a close as a mid-length par 4 that routes you back towards Reunion Grand, which will reveal itself on your approach. The tee shot favors a draw, and if you find the fairway, make sure you club up to this green. Although it may not feel like it, it plays at least one full club length more than the number. The green is guarded by 3 sprawling bunkers that surround the entire complex, save for the bottleneck that runs up from the fairway. Though not in play, the rock formation on the right does frame Reunion Grand and the closing hole at 18 beautifully for your last walk up to the green.